Here's the deal. Main topic number 2 is pretty simple. All right, here are the rules.
Oh man, we got rules again.
Here are the rules. We got 5 years to get whatever gear we want.
Awesome. No money?
Well, I don't have any money. I don't know
Oh,
about
okay.
you. Let's pretend we got money.
Okay.
What are the things that you are going to buy within this 5 years?
Okay. So this is real life. This isn't like a fun
just
game.
kidding. It's kind of sad actually.
Dang it.
Now that I think about it.
I'm gonna buy 2 packs of strings.
So think about all the things that you would like to buy within the 5 year. Let's say it's your 5 year plan.
Okay.
And the 5 year, kind of like an interview. What's your 5 year plan? What's your 5 year guitar plan? Or gear plan for playing guitar?
I like this.
Yeah.
5 years. Okay. Boy, that's tough, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. So you almost got to break it down by year. So year 1,
Yeah. So this year,
you kind of already talked
I
about
kind of
it.
talked about it. I kind of want to get my pedal board straightened out, so I might have a couple pedals there to finish up that for my live playing that I want to do. My biggest issue right now is I need another delay pedal that I really love that's kind of got some presets in it or something along those lines, or maybe another one to add to some pedals, and kind of go from there. So I need to get pedal board straightened out, and I guess P90 guitar would be the other thing I'd be looking at for this year.
Mm-hmm.
Those two things would be pretty big. I think probably whenever we start looking at the next 4 years on top of that, honestly, it sounds wild, and you never would have thought I would say it, but I'm really gassing hard for some Two-Rock stuff.
Oh, more than a Z-Rec?
It and the Z-Rec is running neck and neck right now, and I think right now my gas level for the Two-Rock is really high.
I can't believe that.
I know. There's something wrong with
Who
me.
thought you would be a John Mayer wannabe?
I don't want to be John Mayer. I don't want to be John Mayer. I love. Don't beat me up, folks. I know everyone loves John Mayer, and I like him too, but I don't want to sound like John Mayer, and I'm never going to. Just because you have a two, you can have his
Hey,
exact rig.
You can do anything, just don't sing like him. Because
No.
his face, have you seen him sing?
I like it. I like it. That's
It
something
is-
I like about him.
Like, his guitar face is one thing, but his singing face,
Yeah, it's good.
that's hard to watch.
It's good.
Love the guy.
Say what you gotta
Love
say.
the guy.
Say what you need to say.
Okay,
Say
I
what you're
did.
gonna say.
I just did.
Say what you're gonna say.
Stay away from John Mayer.
You know, it's driving me crazy right now, the Two-Rock stuff.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with that one Two-Rock I played in Nashville, and I probably should have just bought it right that second. But yeah, I need to go play some more of them. The studio signatures kind of calling my name right now. This one channel's probably all I need.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can't ever go wrong with their classic reverb. So I would like to make one of those happen in the next 5 years, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But I don't know where that falls.
Okay.
And then yeah, the Z-Rec's a whole nother thing too, because that Z-Rec Junior's been calling me.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess realistically, this year it would be cool to finish up that pedal board, maybe find a P90 guitar, something like that. And then I would be either in Z-Rec Junior camp or Two-Rock camp, because let's be honest, they're not a million miles apart in prices.
Oh, prices. Yeah, I was about to say, no, they are very different.
Yeah, I think a Z-Rec Junior head somewhere in the ballpark of $2,000. I think the Two-Rock head is somewhere in the ballpark, the studio signature of like $3,000 or
Right.
$34,000. So it is more expensive, but not crazy more.
Yeah.
And then honestly, I think the other thing in the next 5 years that I would be kind of looking at, obviously there's other pedals and different things like that involved, but I've played a couple of those D28s that have just been calling my name.
Okay. Yeah.
That's probably the things that, who knows what guitars and amps I run into in between now and then,
Mm-hmm.
but that's like, as in, if we're talking big purchases in the next 5 years, that's probably the 3 things that are probably hitting me the hardest right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of other things. We talked about pairing a little amp with my deluxe or something like that. I mean, I could really go through a laundry list of things.
Mm-hmm.
However, if we're talking big items in the next 5 years, it's probably what I'm looking at right now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's some expensive stuff that
A lot of stuff to buy in 5 years.
yeah.
Yeah.
But 5 years ago, I would have been saying the same thing
I
about
know.
what I've picked up. So,
I know.
what about you? Where's your 5 years? Maybe after you talk a little bit more, I'll be able to come back to some
Okay.
points on mine.
Yeah, because I have really good ideas that you steal. You're right. So anyway, year one, I already talked about. I want to get a PRS somehow.
Yep.
I think just because I don't have a modern style guitar, I'm limited with what I can do with my guitars.
You need a modern style guitar that you're not afraid to fall out of a guitar stand.
Right.
Honestly, I'm not like, but you've got a few gigs where you're playing and taking it out and dragging it all over the place, and the environment, as in like even the weather and stuff, is
Right.
not great for it.
Right.
You need something that's rock solid.
Yeah, I do. So I need a PRS, just to help me get through my gigs. I don't know if so. Newsflash, if you didn't know it, I'm having a kid this year.
Yep.
So funds are a little tight.
Makes it.
So I don't know if I'll be able to swing another purchase this year.
Right.
But I really could use a Princeton reverb, like a real one, not a Tone Master. I've already decided. I've looked at the Tone Master till I'm blue in the face, but I'm just gonna be thinking about it if I don't buy the tube version.
Yep.
And I'm gonna have to mic it anyway, so the direct option, it really won't change much, for me. So I think I'm just gonna go the regular Princeton route, and I want the 10-inch speaker.
Yeah, because you would leave the speaker on, even if you were
Regardless,
direct out,
yeah.
no matter what. So yeah.
Yeah, I think. Well, not I think. I know I want the 10-inch speaker. There's a magic to that 10-inch that the 12-inch does give you more space, but it kind of puts it more in that deluxe territory.
Yeah.
And I like the idea of the 10-inch speaker. So I would keep it the way it is, stock, and just run it. And I might even pair it with my Tweed amp, my deluxe. So, anyways, Princeton is going to be next up on the list, but whether it's next year probably won't happen. So I'm thinking that's year 2. Princeton's year 2. Year 3, man, it really depends on what happens. But I would love a P90 Gold Top Les Paul.
Yeah.
Man, would I love one. I'm looking at 54 reissues. I think that's what I prefer to have. But if I don't get that, I might go with just a 50s P90 and put a Bigsby on it, because that is also beautiful too.
Yeah.
So those are some things I got to iron out. But I'm pretty sure I want a Gold Top Les Paul with P90s. There's just something to that sound. I mean, I think of John Fogerty and Mike Campbell, and they've made a career out of those guitars.
Yeah.
There's something to the sound. Just, it's in my head. After that, I think it's like you had mentioned, I want to tighten up my big board. There's a couple delays I want, and I'm probably going to want a Sunlion.
Yeah.
Just to have the Beano Boost and an awesome fuzz in one box. But really, other than that, I've got a lot of my big pieces. There's probably the 5-year is going to be my acoustic.
Yeah.
Because right now I've got a working man's acoustic, like the GS Mini Koa.
Yeah.
That's a great singer-songwriter. I've got a resonator. I've got a D15 Martin that I put a pickup in the sound hole, but I need a really nice acoustic.
You want a D18. That's what you want.
I want a D18. And I want it bare bones stock.
Yeah.
I want just a working man's D18.
Yeah.
So that's ideally in 5 years. Now,
That's some great calls. And we're not a million miles from each other, really.
no, we both want P90s. We both want a nice acoustic, finish up boards.
And both want a nice amp.
I mean, isn't that the dream? That's the dream.
It is, but it's also kind of funny, like where we fall in like the grand scheme of things, because we're both out gigging, doing things. We've been playing guitar for years and years, and whenever you turn around, here we are, years later, and we're like, well, in the next 5 years, what are you looking for? Well, we're both looking for a real nice acoustic. We're both looking for an amp that we can go and gig all the time.
Yeah.
And we're both looking to kind of tighten up our board, and it's some P90s.
And I think something to just point out, we've got a humbucker guitar we love.
Yeah.
I've got an SG, you got a Les Paul. We both have a single coil guitar we love. I've got a Tele and a Strat. You've got a Tele that really works for you.
Yeah.
So,
I'm a little bit fortunate because I've got a Duesenberg
Right.
that kind of works, as of now, knock on wood, it kind of works for me for a do-it-all guitar for the stuff I'm
Right.
playing. And that's kind of where you're missing.
Right. So, I mean, 5 years, that's probably a little tight. It probably will end up being 6 or 7 years, all this spanned out. But that would be my dream scenario, 5 years. And really, I want to get it while I can enjoy it. Like, we've talked about this before. I don't want to get things when I'm 60 because I've retired and I've earned it and have 15 good years of playing.
Yeah, it's a little frustrating. I imagine. I mean, I don't know. I haven't done it, but I imagine it's a little frustrating to work your entire life, retire, get a retirement guitar, and all of a sudden, like, you've got 15 years of good playing and going out and gigging with it before you're like,
But
well,
our arthritis sets in.
yeah,
so-
or it's just like sitting at home and you're just playing at home mostly because you're not gigging as much.
Right.
Whenever I retire, I want my guitars to look like they've had some wear and they've been played for a long
Well,
time.
and I really want to get to know my equipment. Like, I want to put some miles on it so I know what each one does and why I go to each one.
And we're putting miles on our gear right now.
We are.
Like, we are definitely using our gear a lot. And, that's when you want to use the gear that you love the most. So, I mean, you don't want to go in debt and go in the hole to be buying gear. But at the same time, you want to do as much as you can now so you can truly enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm selling gear to afford this gear I'm talking about.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
And that makes sense. I think a lot of guitar players are in that same boat.
Right.
I think, I'm talking about a 2-Rock or a Z-Rec, and you're talking about, a 54 reissue. Like, those are not cheap products.
No.
They're expensive products. Even if Joe Bonamassa thinks $19,000 is within reason.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm still hung up.
I know.
But, like, I think it's normal for guitar players to, like, work a couple of years to try to afford that, to play a bunch of gigs, and maybe just from gig money, they've got half of that or all that money saved up for that anyway.
Right.
So I think it's pretty reasonable to have like 2 to 3 big purchases in a 5-year span.
I would think so, but
For the average guy, I'm talking, that's who we're talking to and why
Right.
we've made this.
and maybe you're not like us and thinking, wow, a Princeton 1 year and a 54 reissue the next. Like, I'm not saying that. Maybe your big purchase is like a Boss Katana, and then the next one is maybe a Fender Deluxe.
And the other side of it is maybe you're buying a 54 reissue this month, and the next month you're buying a D28 Modern Deluxe. Like,
Right.
and that's cool too. That's no big deal. But it's just
We're just saying, give us some of that money. That's all.
that's right. But in that whole span of things too, you're also leaving yourself a little bit of leeway for, I find a pedal I like. I run into a guitar accidentally that I really love.
That's it.
You're leaving yourself a little bit of grace to know
I need
that
to buy more cables.
I'm accidentally going to fall in love with the guitar and probably buy it in there too. This is just the stuff that like I probably should be looking that way towards, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I think that 5-year plan works pretty well, really.
It does for me.
For where you're setting.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I take an assessment of that, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't think you're missing anything. So maybe, no, probably not.
A Klon Centaur.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm just kidding.
No, don't buy a Klon.
And you need a Dumble.
No, I don't need a Dumble, and I don't need a Klon, and neither do you guys. No one
But
needs
if you
that.
want to loan one to us,
Maybe we're wrong. Send one to us. You know what? You're right. Send one to us. We'll check it out.
we don't do demos, but we'll do one if you send it to us.
That's right. Yeah, if you send me a Klon or a Dumble, I will definitely do a demo. We don't do any demos, but I do think this is a New Year episode,
Yeah.
and I would like to do a few things where we're comparing and contrasting a few things. I do think that demos are completely useless, and we both believe that.
I mean, I don't know. I think we've changed our status on that, right? Because,
No, demos suck.
oh wait, yeah, we forgot that.
Demos suck. But I do think that comparison can be good.
I think it can help.
Yeah. I can help you differentiate which road you need to go down.
Look at you. Differentiate.
Watch out, big words. So this year, maybe a good New Year's resolution we didn't talk about is we get in here and we compare and contrast.
It is
some
not a
things.
demo. It's a comparison.
I will not demo anything. I don't think.
Maybe.
Maybe under
To
the
be
right,
continued.
maybe under the right circumstances. Pretty unlikely though.
Comparison videos, yes.
Yeah, comparison. And also just like a little bit of intrigue. So I've got a few things on the books that I want to try and kind of compare. And honestly, some of it, selfishly, I want to record because it takes a while to change it out. And my ears aren't going to catch it or I'm not going to remember it.
That's true.
And I'd love to record it just for the sake of being able to listen to them back to back.
Yeah.
So for that, I would love to do some of this stuff. And I think this year we do some more of that.
Yeah, we'll give it a shot.
Because we've not done any of that because we've held the stance of demos suck.
Which they do.
And they do. But comparison videos don't suck.
And not that we're comparing one is better than the other. It's just what do they do differently?
The use case. What's the use case for this thing?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So anyway, we kind of got down another rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Like all episodes. So Happy New Year's. Hope your 2024 is great. 2025.
Dude, you got problems, man.
I got
You're
problems.
going to mess us all up.
I'm going to mess us all up. So it's 2025. We got to get used to writing that, right?
Yeah, we got to get used to
All
it.
right. We'll see you guys next week.
See ya.